My name is Sully, better known as Pius. I can help with surahs so I can recite.
My name is Suhaila, memorizing surahs, reading the Quran, and practicing the Sunnah.
My name is Mommy, better known as Ummi. Islamic education is key to the family. We tune in every day to learn something new, and Sunnah Followers is helping us, and it could help you too. Tune in every day for new programming. Stay tuned.
And much more.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet, my Lord. Get wet, get wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. Get ready for a conversation deep and in depth. Obligations are serious and need to be met, so I prepare so I won't forget. Go ahead and make a good intention. Yeah, yeah. Check it out for some good things. Yeah, make a donation to the side and go from left to make it right. Just remember and don't lose sight. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal.
Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all. The first one, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but if you're one of those people that have been trying to get information and you come across this, or even this. All right, take a listen.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Sister Laila Nasheeba, the Managing Director and founder of Sunnah Followers Online Islamic University. As you know, we have classes every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we cover everything from Aqidah, which is your belief system, to Seerah, which are the stories of the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the story of the companions. Please join us every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are broadcasting and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, DLive, Trovo, and Twitch. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our series on the prayer. And tonight's class is not going to be long. I'm just going to go over tonight the things that are not haram to do during the prayer, but they're things that we are discouraged from doing. They're not going to break your prayer necessarily, but the companions view that these are things that we should try to stay away from when it comes to performing the prayer. I want everyone here to remember that the whole purpose of the prayer is to establish a connection between yourself and Allah. You know, this is what we do to show our allegiance to Allah and how He is first and foremost in our lives. So you want to try to concentrate, and it takes a lifetime to truly develop that, the ability to just keep your concentration just on you and Allah and not become easily distracted. That's why the Prophet taught us the Sunnah actions of the prayer. Doing the Sunnah actions of the prayer will help to strengthen that connection between yourself and Allah. Well, also the recommendations I'm going to speak about tonight are things that are discouraged from us to do because they may, impede upon your connection with Allah. And of course, it's very hard. Anybody tells you it's easy to concentrate during a prayer, they're not telling you the truth. Because we're human, and it's hard to imagine that you are standing in the presence of an entity that you cannot see, that you cannot taste, that you cannot feel or smell. So we all suffer with this. This is something that the companions suffered with too, which is why there are so many hadiths addressing things that are discouraged from doing during the prayer. So it's just something that will get easier and better with time, learning how to keep that connection with Allah. So let's take a look at the things that are disliked regarding the prayer. Okay. And we're going to start off, fix my screen here, with this beautiful hadith here. One of the companions tells us, he said, I asked the Prophet about brushing away the pebbles on the ground while praying. And the Prophet said, do not dust away the pebbles while you are praying. But if you have to remove something, then do it only once, just to level the ground or level the rocks. You know, we have to remember that during the Prophet's time, he lived in the 6th century. They didn't have floors. They didn't have linoleum. They didn't have concrete floors. They didn't have carpet. They prayed in the sand, the ground, the earth was their floor. So, you know, the sand has rocks and pebbles and stuff on it. So when you go to prostrate, you know, you might see some rocks or something there. You want to move them out the way. So the Prophet is saying, if you do are making salat outside, or even inside, if you got a nasty house and you go to prostrate and there's a bunch of rocks and glass or things in front of you, or even toys, let's just say that the baby rolls a toy in front of you where you will be prostrating, you know, then you can just knock it away once and that's it. You can push it away once to level the ground and that's it. You don't want to sit there fiddling with the rocks, fiddling with whatever's on the floor, because it's going to distract you. It's going to break your concentration. Also, we have another hadith from Abu Dar. Abu Dar says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you stand for the prayer, you're facing the mercy of Allah. So don't sit there wiping away the ground, wiping away what's on the ground. Again, you know, give your attention to Allah. And also Salama, who was one of the wives of the Prophet, she says that there was a young boy named Yasser who used to blow out air during the prayer. And so he used to do it on purpose, guys, deliberately. This was a bad kid. You know, make noise like that when he's praying. He could have been doing it to make people think he's farting. You never know. Kids are ignorant. Some kids are ignorant. Okay? And he did this intentionally, deliberately. When he would pray, he would puff out air to make it sound like somebody was passing wind or breaking wind or something, trying to be silly. So the Prophet got angry at him and told him one day, he said, may Allah fill your face with dust. You want to puff out your breath and blow the earth around. Because remember, they prayed in the sand. You puffing out air, blowing out air, and making the sand rise and get in the faces of the people. So the Prophet said, may Allah fill your face with the dirt. Okay, so again, we have to be careful of distractions. We have to be careful of distractions during the prayer. And just imagine that this is a date that you have. For you sisters who are so desperate to get husbands, you know how desperate you are? That you're willing to date them on the internet and all that dumb stuff y'all do that's haram? Well, imagine you got a date with Allah. Okay? You don't want to break that date. You don't want to do anything that's going to make Allah look down on you and not want you. So try not to do things that's going to distract you during the prayer. And also, when we make salat, do not pray with your hands on your hips. This is forbidden. When you're standing up in Qiyam, do not put your hands on your hips. Or if you're standing up from bowing, don't put your hands on your hips. This is disrespect towards Allah. Okay? And a lot of the questions that I get as a daya from new shahadas is, can I look up at the sky? Can I raise my eyes up towards the sky? The Prophet ﷺ said those who raise their eyes to the sky during the prayer should stop doing it, or Allah may take your sight away. This is how the Christians pray. The Christians pray with their eyes up towards the heavens. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us to be different. He wanted us to be the opposite of the other people. Do the opposite of them. They pray looking up at the sky. We pray looking down. Your eyes should be on that spot on the floor where your head will meet when you prostrate. So don't look up at the sky when you're making salat. That's not the way we pray. And that's a habit that many of you new shahadas are going to have to break. Okay? Also, don't look at something that's going to distract your attention. We have this hadith where, as Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she tells us that the Prophet prayed in a garment that had designs on it. That tells you right there that for a man to wear designs is not haram. This was a question that one of the youth asked me last Friday. Can a man wear designs? Yes. The Prophet Muhammad wore clothing with designs. But when it was time to pray, the Prophet went to pray in this one particular garment. And after he was finished praying, he finished the prayer. He said, these designs distracted me. So he took the shirt off and he gave it. He took the shirt off and gave it to a man named Abu Jaham, who was the person that gave it to him, and said, take this back and instead bring me a plain garment to pray in. A plain shirt, a shirt that didn't have any distractions. So this hadith, a lot of uneducated Muslims, and it's Bukhari and Muslim, it's authentic. A lot of the new shahadas or brothers who think themselves to be scholars when they ain't. They'll read this hadith and say, this is the dalil that a man can't wear designs. No, that's not true. That's not what the Prophet is saying. He did not mention nothing about the word haram in here. The word haram is not used at all in here. And look and read it. This is why we have to ponder the linguistics. That's the science of the hadith, the science of the Quran. Look at the words. The Prophet completed his prayer with that design on. He took it off and gave it away because it distracted him. He didn't say that it's haram, and nor does it say he would never wear it again. He just took it off after his prayer because it distracted him. So you learn from this hadith to be careful of what you're praying in. If, like, for example, my hijab, if I was so busy looking at the bling, then I wouldn't wear it when I pray because it's going to break my concentration. Remember, the prayer is a date between you and Allah. Here's another hadith that many Muslims misconstrue the meaning of. Aisha, radiallahu anha, she had a curtain that she put to cover the doorway of her home. And the Prophet said to her, remove that curtain because the pictures on it always distract me when I pray, because that was the direction of the Qibla. He prayed facing that door, and those pretty pictures on it distracted him. And they were pictures of birds. So again, you have to read the wording. He didn't tell her that it was haram to have pictures of animals on a curtain. He didn't tell her it was haram. He asked her to remove it because it distracts him from his prayer. And so what she did was she took the curtain down and she covered the cushions of a chair with it. And this is also the dalil, like I told you guys. There's another authentic hadith, Sahih Bukhari and Muslim too. All of these are. And it says that the Prophet, when he forbade the hanging up of pictures and statues, he said the exemption is if they are on cloth. If you have pictures of animals or a face on a cloth, it's okay, because when we wear it or we walk on it, we are defacing it. That hadith is authentic. You'll find that hadith in Sahih Muslim. Okay, so it's not haram to have pictures of an elephant or birds or swans on your curtains or your bed. I have tigers. I have tigers on my bedspread. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, because it's okay. It's fabric. Is what we cannot do is take a picture of anything with a soul and hang it up on display on the wall or something that's not on cloth. And also, when you look at this authentic hadith, you can see that if there is writing or there are designs in the curtains, it does not, I repeat, it does not, I repeat, it does not invalidate your prayer. Remember, the Prophet prayed in that house facing those curtains. And then after he prayed is when he's told Aisha, remove them because they're always distracting me. The colors were so bright and stuff, and the sun would be shining and it would distract him. He didn't tell her it's haram or any of that, nor did he make his prayers over. Y'all understand that? We have to read and have good reading comprehension skills when it comes to this religion, because you'll end up like a lot of those monkeys that are on my Instagram page. And I do mean monkeys, because that's what those people are behaving like, monkeys, chimpanzees. They don't know the religion, but they think that they're scholars because they got a Dawah channel. I feel sorry for whoever's learning from them. And they'll look at my shorts from this class and others where I got the hadiths here and I'm explaining to you the meaning as to what Allah said, what the Prophet said. These brothers don't know the hadiths. All they've done is learned how to sing the Quran and got a piece of paper that they paid from saying that they're a scholar. So they'll put comments up. Oh, she's wrong. This is not, it's haram to pray in a room that's got pictures. Where's the dalil? Show me the clear hadith that says it's haram. And so they'll come with this hadith here, either one of these. I'm like, read it in the Fusha. Show me the word haram. You brothers, you can read Arabic. I can too. All you got to do is find the word haram, read it. Ain't nothing in here that mentions anything about anything being haram. This is talking about distractions from the prayer. None of this stuff is haram. If something is unlawful, you'll find the word haram in Arabic. So don't waste your time with these Dawah brothers and these Dawah women that's on social media. Because like I tell y'all, 97% of them are doing dawah for shaitan, not for Allah. And the fact that they have no respect for other Muslims shows that they're definitely not doing dawah for Allah. And that brings us to the next big question. And I told Brother Luke, I told you I would answer it. Closing your eyes. A lot of people ask me this. Can you close your eyes when you pray, like this woman is doing? Well, I'm going to give y'all the correct answer. Pay attention. Some people say closing your eyes when you pray is something that's not light. And others say it's lawful, but it's still something that is not light. But I'm going to set the record straight. There is no, I repeat, there is no, I repeat again, there is no authentic hadith on planet Earth that says closing the eyes when you pray is disliked. And there is no, I repeat, there is no, I repeat, there is no scholar of hadiths that will refute me. They all agree to that. The hadiths that talk about closing the eyes being disliked are not authentic. Just like that hadith about paradise under the foot of your mother, not authentic. Just like that hadith about divorce makes the throne of Allah shake, not authentic. I tell y'all, be careful when you're reading these other hadith books, because unless it's Bukhari and Muslim, you're going to deal with a lot of things that are not authentic. Okay? Some of the companions, and you will find these hadiths in Bukhari, in Muslim, and Muwatta. Some of the companions used to close their eyes when they were praying because it helped them with their khushu'. Amir ibn al-As, he's one. He used to close his eyes sometimes during the prayer to shut out everything around him so he could strengthen his connection with Allah. So anyone that tells you that because you close your eyes, your prayer is invalid, and that this is something that is not liked, I'm sorry. I don't know. They dealing with hadiths that are not authentic. Because I can give you some from the companions, not just Amir ibn al-As, but others too, who would sometimes close their eyes. Include Aisha, radiyallahu anha. Okay? What about this? We talked about this one before. Motioning with your hands while making the assalamu alaikum, the closing, the taslim. We have this hadith from Jabir ibn Samurah. He said, we prayed behind the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said, what is wrong with them that they make greetings with their hands as if they were the tails of a horse? In other words, waving. He said, isn't it enough for you to put your hand on your thigh and simply say, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. So what this hadith is telling us is, again, none of that. There's no need to wave like the tail of a horse. Some people would say when at the end of the prayer, Assalam, they start waving. Walaikum rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum. You know, what's the point in that? All we have to do is turn your head and say, Assalamu alaikum. That's it. Assalamu alaikum. You don't have to do no waving. Okay, so don't do that. That's something that the prophet told us not to do. Now, is it going to invalidate your prayer? No, but it's something that the prophet clearly told us that we shouldn't do. So since now you know you shouldn't do it, don't do it. Also, we have a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade. Now, if you read this in Arabic, you will see the word haram. So this is something that we can say haram to. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade asadl, and I have a hard time pronouncing that, in the prayer. And he forbade a man to cover his mouth. Okay, this hadith is authentic. So what is asadl? Well, asadl, thank you, brother. Jordanian. He said it's Saul. Asadl. Asadl is to lower your garment until it reaches the ground. This also applies to wearing a cloak without putting your arms through its sleeves. Asadl. Now remember, guys, we talked about this hadith before. You know, as a Muslim man, this is not for the women, because the top of the woman's foot is part of her order, her nakedness. So we have to make sure the top of our feet are covered. But for you Muslim brothers, you should not lower your garments to the floor. Your garments should come to the top of your foot and stop at the top of your foot. That's where your ankle is. And also, we don't imitate the pagans. You know how the non-Muslims, they used to do it at my job. They would put a garment on and not put their sleeves through it. They just put a dress on or a shirt on, and it's just hanging off them, and they wouldn't put their sleeves, their arms through the sleeves. I don't know why people do that. My clients used to do that, and some of my stupid co-workers. We don't imitate them. You know, put your arms through the sleeves of your shirt. Put your arms through the sleeves of your coat too. Don't wear your coat, your jacket across your shoulders like that. Put your arms in the sleeves. Okay? Now that hadith, when you read the Fusha, you will read the word haram in there. Okay? Also, this is a big one, and we're going to go over this one again during Ramadan. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if dinner is served and the prayer is in, eat the dinner first, pray afterwards. What does that mean? The adhan for Maghrib has just been pronounced, and your wife is putting the spaghetti on the table. Eat first and pray afterwards. Remember, every prayer has its fixed time. Maghrib ends when the adhan for Isha is called. So you have more than enough time to sit down and eat your dinner and then pray, guys. Why is this? Because, again, it's about your concentration. If you jump up and make Maghrib, you're going to be sitting there thinking about that spaghetti and how good it smells. Okay? Or at least eat a couple of spoonfuls so that way you know how it tastes, where you ain't got to be standing there wondering how good it's going to be. We also have this hadith where the food would be served for Ibn Umar while the iqamat was being made. But he would not go to the prayer until he finished his meal, even though he could hear the imam reciting. And this hadith is Bukhari. Y'all see how the companions didn't play. They didn't play with their connection with Allah. They did nothing to break their connection with him. Even though he could hear Allahu Akbar and the Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, he'd keep on eating his dinner, and he'd go and pray after he was done. rather than walk away with only a quarter of a reward. And again, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered that no one should be ordered that a person should begin with their meal to satisfy that need. And this way you will go to the salat calmly, and your desire to eat or taste the food will be diminished, and this will not, destroy or break your concentration. Okay? A lot of people are like, I just want to pray and get it out the way. Yeah, well, you done threw Allah in the back seat, huh? Don't throw Allah in the back seat, although you can't throw Allah anywhere. But don't disrespect Allah that way. Thank him for that meal that you have. Also, this is a question that someone asked the other day. What if you have to use the bathroom and it's time to pray? Should I hold it? No. Answer the call of nature. Because just like the food, you're going to be standing there saying, hold it, hold it, hold it. And that interrupts your concentration. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there are 3 actions which are not allowed. And when you read this hadith in the Fusha, brothers, you'll see the word haram in it. He said one of them is for a person to lead people in prayer and then make supplications for himself without including the people whom he led. This is dishonesty. Another thing that is not allowed is to look inside a house of a person without that person giving you permission, because looking inside the person's house is the same as entering it. These things are haram. And the third is to offer the prayer while you need to answer the call of nature. Okay, so if you got to urinate, if you got to defecate, go take care of your business first and then come back so you can be ready to open and secure that connection with Allah. Also, another hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no one should pray when the food is served, nor should you pray if you have to answer the call of nature. All these hadiths, Bukhari, Muslim, Ahmed, Dawood, they're everywhere. Okay? And the next one is sleeping. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever you become drowsy during the prayer, you should go and lay down until you're fresh again. Otherwise, you won't know if you're asking Allah to forgive you or if you're asking Allah to curse you. In other words, who knows what we're saying when we're asleep? You're drunk. You're in a drunken state. That's why you can't pray when you're intoxicated. Okay? Allah wouldn't accept it anyway. Also, the Prophet said, when one of you gets up at night for prayer and your tongue, gets confused when reading the Quran and you're not certain as to what you're saying, then go back to sleep. This is Sahih Muslim. It's authentic. Remember, that's one of the only 2 excuses that Allah gives us for missing a prayer. One is forgetfulness, and the other one is you overslept, or you just were too sleepy, you couldn't get up. Okay, and finally, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade, and when you read the Fusha, you will see the word Arabic here, haram in Arabic here. The Prophet forbade pecking like a crow when you prostrate, or imitating a lion when you sit, or picking a special place in the mosque to pray, like you got your own place like a camel does. In other words, being going down and coming up real fast like a chicken when you prostrate, or sitting like a animal sits, okay, or thinking that you own this part of the mosque, so you got to pray in this corner. So these are some of the things that are disliked, and some of them, as you can see, were haram, completely haram, that we need to avoid when making salat. Again, Islam is a beautiful way of life. Just like after Allah created Adam, he allowed Adam to live in paradise for that short time so he could learn what Allah likes and what Allah dislikes. That's how merciful Allah is. Well, here we can see Allah has imposed upon us certain pillars of obligations, certain pillars that we are obligated to perform. And then he breaks down how to do them to us, and even tells us what he likes, what he doesn't like, and what is haram. We just have to learn the religion correctly. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Any questions? And by the way, Geechee, I got your thing. I meant to tell you that earlier. And by the way, guys, what is Dr. McBride speaking about tomorrow again? I forgot just that quick. And I got to, what's his lecture on? So I can do that thing. Guys, Dr. McBride, is anybody in that Zoom room? Is he still doing gold training for Ramadan?
I really forgot, Sister Lake.
I'll just text him tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Sister Aya, that hadith about, what are you talking about? Why shouldn't you cover your mouth? Not only should you cover your mouth when you yawn, but also when you cough and everything else. What makes you think you don't have to cover? You better cover your mouth. In fact, yawning is a total different thing. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever you yawn, it's incumbent that we try not to open our mouth at all. Because when you open your mouth, that's when Shaitan laughs at you. And that's when you spread it to everybody else too. Okay. None of these things are talking about your mouth. None of these hadiths mention the mouth. Nothing about the mouth. You better cover your mouth. Yeah, any other questions or comments?
When we sit and we do the tashahhud, you know how you lift your index finger up? Do we supposed to move it, or we just keep it up whenever we say ashhadu an la ilaha illallah?
Okay, we covered that before. That's a sunnah action. You don't have to do it at all. And we went over how there's several different ways the Prophet would do that. If you want to, you can hold it up and not move it at all. If you want to, you can move it up and down like this. If you want to, you can move it in a circle. So any of them are acceptable. It's just a sunnah.
Okay.
You got confused because we just went over not covering our mouth. When? Did I talk about covering the mouth today? Who did I say that to?
Yeah, I'll just get on the mic. When we were talking about the messenger of Allah prohibited the garment, letting one's garment down until it touches the ground, and prohibited a man to cover his mouth.
I didn't read nothing about no. I didn't see no. Did I put cover the mouth in there? Let me look at my PowerPoint. I might have made some mistake. Hold on, because I was eating. Hold on. Let me see what PowerPoint she talking about. Where's my PowerPoint? That's what happens when you're doing two things. Cover the mouth ain't got nothing to do with that. I might have made a mistake. Hold on. Let's see what I put down here. Oh, I can't find it. Hold on, let me look on this computer. Y'all look at this screen while I put it on this one. This is the bigger one. I can't see. Okay, here we go. Things that are right. Let's see what I put on here. No, that's a sawdle. No, that's covering your face. Don't worry about that. We don't do that nowadays. That's when you throw a garment over you and you don't put your sleeves through and you do this.
Okay.
Like the Kafirs pray. We don't do that. No.
Okay,
No. That's why I didn't talk about it. Because I figured somebody would get messed up thinking that means yawning or something, when that's a sawdle. He called it a saw. That's something that the Arab Bedouins used to do. They used to also sit on the ground with their private parts out and their legs up. That's another assault. We don't do that either. I didn't go over that stuff because I don't know anybody that sits like that or behaves that way. That was something that the Bedouins would do. And even my co-workers, I did see some of them throw something on and not put their arms to the sleeves, and then they do this. They pull it up like this because they cold. Maybe, yeah. So I guess so. But we don't do that. You a Muslim woman. You don't do that anyway. Yeah. Okay, so that's not talking about covering your mouth when you cough. That's not talking about covering your mouth when you sneeze. You can cover your mouth. You can even blow your nose. Remember, we talked about that. You can even blow your nose when you're praying. No, this is talking about imitating something that the Kafir pagans used to do, and also the jinn. There's another hadith that the jinn do that. And so we do the opposite of the jinn. But no, that's not talking about covering your mouth when you sneeze. No. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Yes, tomorrow is Dr. McBride at 6:00. And then you have, what else we got? My Metcalf City. Yeah, the Metcalf. Oh, yeah. The Metcalf City Tafsir. Yeah, we'll be continuing with, yeah, I made shorts out of it. Yeah, I can tell that you knew Shahadas. Like the little shorts I put out were my Metcalf City class on the heart softeners. Y'all like that too? Yeah, that class is tomorrow. I think we stopped off at page 38. So I read the next 4 pages. Yeah. That's tomorrow at 9:30, inshallah. As long as I'm feeling good. That headache is gone. I took that medicine back, and hey, 2 days, my headache is gone. I ain't coming off of it again. Yeah.
Mr. Lila, do we have Sheikh Saud tomorrow or not?
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. He's so busy. I noticed on his Facebook page, he's busy doing certification for his students. So I don't want to put no pressure on him. If he's able to, he'll join. If not, you got my Metcalf City class. And then Friday, yes, Friday is Brother Youssef. You like Youssef's, Brother Youssef's lectures too? Yeah, alhamdulillah, Brother Luke. Yeah, he's Friday. And he sent me a topic too. Yeah, he's going to be continuing with the 2.0 Muslim. Remember last week he talked about the golf, the 2.0 golf Muslim. I think he's going to do the 2.0 American Muslim this week. And we got some 2.0 American Muslims for real. Hanky panky stanky. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for tonight so I can finish doing what I was doing around this house here. I was writing in my book, but I'm going to clean out that refrigerator. Yeah, I'm trying to get my spring cleaning done. Y'all see it's taking one day at a time. I'm going to have to get those grandkids over here, though, because I want to get a couple of these closets, and I can't reach up top, and I'm too scared to get on top of a chair. So I'm going to get them kids to come over here, get that stuff out the closets. Yeah, you're spring cleaning before Ramadan. You know. Ramadan cleaning. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to log out for tonight. Subhana kala huma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.